The next minute to text your friends, ask them to join us for class, say we are missing them. Be sure to do that. Also, take the next minute to look over the agenda and the materials on the Nearpod. Make sure that you are prepared with everything that you need. I have 6 of us in the Nearpod. I need 4 more. I need 4 more people in the Nearpod. The Do Now is going to be interacting with the Nearpod, so make sure you have the Nearpod up so that way you can utilize it. Thank you, Arabia, Ciara, Eddie, Giovanni, Jalasia, and Takia for getting in the Nearpod. I'm waiting on 5 of us. I will copy and paste the link into the chat one more time. Please make sure you are getting into there. Thank you, getting a couple more. Samaj, can you please read our materials for the day? And Ciara, can you please read our agenda? The materials, please. The one on the left.
Paper and writing utensils for Cornell notes, Google assignment, hold up, Nearpod access, all other tabs closed.
Great, thank you very much. And Ciara, can you read our agenda?
Norms and agenda, Do Now, doc analysis, discourse, and exit ticket.
Great, thank you so much. As a reminder of our norms, attendance and cold call responses are impacting our quiz grade every week. Zoom expectations, make sure your video is on and your microphone is off and you are only using the chat feature when prompted. Google Classroom is where you can find all assignments and tools. And please make sure you have a constructive learning space set up. While we are doing so, I am going to share my screen and show you a new tool in the Google Classroom. So that should be showing the Nearpod. Okay, so when we are doing corrections, I'm gonna ask that you guys go to APUSH resources and click the tab that says corrections. If you click assignment corrections, it's going to take you to this Google form. On this Google form, you are going to put the name of the assignment and tell me where you missed points. I have an example of what a correction will look like for a multiple choice and an example correction for an open response. I'm going to highlight one that I got for AP Gov to show you what an exemplar correction looks like. Just give me one moment. Okay. So this is an exemplar correction from the AP Gov student, from one of the AP Gov students. So they clearly label which assignment they're correcting, which is Unit 1, Lesson 5. They give me the full name, so make sure you include that. And missing points, they clearly explain what the error was, and then they properly answer the question. So I'm gonna ask that you guys use this Google form for assignment corrections, so that way I have one place that I'm going to look at corrections at the end of the week, so I can adjust your grades, and that way we don't miss anything, because unfortunately Google Classroom doesn't notify me when you guys resubmit an assignment that's past due. So this is going to help me have one specific place where I look for corrections. So if you do corrections and I haven't adjusted your grade within a week, please let me know and I will check this form. But I usually take about give me about a week to make sure that those corrections are in. Okay, and I'm gonna stop sharing now. As another reminder, you have your part 2 of your homework due today. So far, only 4 of you have submitted part 2. It is due at 8 o'clock, so I will be putting these grades in at 8 p.m. By 8:15 p.m. tonight. So make sure you are doing your homework. Thank you, Shakeem, Skyan, Eddie, and Giovanni for submitting your assignments. any questions about either the homework or the corrections form? Doesn't look like we have any questions, so we will go ahead and move on. Okay, please transition to the do now in your classwork document. You are going to take 4 minutes to read the excerpt and draft your response to the question at the end of page 1. After you are done drafting that, you are going to contribute your response to the Nearpod. So again, you are going to page 1 of the classwork, reading and answering that question. Be prepared to copy and paste that response into the Nearpod. We have 5 minutes to complete. I will be monitoring the Nearpod to make sure we are submitting our responses. 5 minutes on the clock. You will have to copy and paste your draft of your response in 4 minutes. Go ahead and get started. Three minutes, 45 seconds left on the do now. Again, that's page 1 of your classwork document. 90 more seconds, then I'm going to open up the Nearpod. I'm still missing 4 people in the Nearpod. I am going to put the link to the Nearpod in the chat one more time. I'm going to give you a little extra time. You have 1 minute to finish drafting your response to question 1. Please start copying and pasting your response to the question into the Nearpod. Again, go ahead and copy and paste whatever you have. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Ciara. Thank you, Jalasia. Thank you, Shakeem. Thank you, Mahmoud. Again, go ahead and copy and paste your response into the Nearpod, whatever you were able to draft out. And Jalasia, I'm going to share your response. Would you mind reading that out loud for us?
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
Okay, I said Britain did not look at their interests and had no right to tax them if they did not have the representation in the parliament to agree or disagree with the taxes and laws being made.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So the thing that I really like that Jalasia pointed out in her response is this idea of no taxation without representation. It's not that they were against being taxed, it's that they were against being taxed with no representation. We're now going to transition into our Nearpod oral drill, which is going to be matching the key terms with the correct definitions. Remember, you can make as many matches as you can until you get a perfect set. So we are going to do this for 3 minutes. 3 minutes to match the key terms with the definitions. Go ahead and get started. Great. I like seeing the active participation on Nearpod. I'm just waiting for a few more people to start practicing with their matches. Shakeem, Jalasia, awesome. 7 out of 7, perfect first try. Great job, Skyanne, 7 out of 7. Great job, Caleb. Again, I'm waiting for a couple people to start engaging with the activity in the Nearpod. Reminder, your participation with the Nearpod does contribute to your Zoom participation grade in this class. Awesome job, Leah, 7 out of 7. Awesome job, Alexis. Great job, Takia, Giovanni, Ciara, Arabia. One more minute to practice our key terms. Jalasia or Shakeem, can either of you guys message me in the chat and just let me know when you get to 7 out of 7, can you still review those key terms, or does it just go like to a blank screen like you have it? I'm just not sure what the student view is. 30 more seconds to practice. Again, I'm still waiting on a couple people to participate with the Nearpod, but we have some more 7s out of 7s. Good job, Dwayne. Good job, Mahmoud. Good job, Kamaya. Great job, Kayla. Thank you, Jalasia, Shakeem, and Arabia for reaching out and letting me know. Much appreciated. Great, and time is up. Thank you guys for participating with that so actively. This is a great way where we can't practice oral drill in front of the class, but we can still work on our important key terms, which, as we know, we utilize in our short answer questions and in our DBQ essays. So, yesterday, we discussed some of the larger economic causes of the American Revolution. Today, we're going to dig deeper into a possible turning point, the Stamp Act of 1765. In a larger sense, we're going to be analyzing the real reasons for colonial discontent in the colonies in the mid-1700s, in the lead up to the American Revolution. However, we're also going to be claim testing today. So, as historians, we need to test our thesis or our claims when we encounter new evidence to see if they are corroborated. In the Zoom chat, please tell me, what's a synonym when we talk about corroboration? Please make sure it goes out to everybody. What is a synonym for corroboration when we're talking about historical documents, from what you remember from last year? Please put those synonyms into the Zoom chat. Beautiful. Kamaya, can you unmute and share why you used that word?
I use support because they go hand in hand with one another to prove each other.
Beautiful. So today we are not only going to be engaging with the Stamp Act, but we're going to look and see how documents 1 through 3 corroborate each other, and then you are going to put that skill to the test in your exit ticket. So we're working on content in the Stamp Act and skill in the corroboration. So as we read each document today, you're going to revisit your initial claim or thesis and reconsider it in the light of a new document or a new evidence. And by the end of class, we are going to try to determine which claims can be supported by all of the documents. Can you please read out loud today's main inquiry, which is projected on the slide, Giovanni?
Can you repeat that?
Can you please read today's main inquiry, which is on the Nearpod?
Why did the colonists resist the Stamp Act in 1760?
Thank you very much. So we are going to look at document 1. It says 4 minutes, but I'm going to give us 5 because it takes us a little bit longer on the computer. So you are going to take 5 minutes to read and annotate with 4 corners, sense, and significant statement, document 1. You are going to read that document for 5 minutes, complete the annotations, and then when we come back, we are going to copy and paste our significant statement into a collab board where we can look at each other's ideas. Now, as a reminder, the significant statement is the answer to the main inquiry. So when you read document 1, you are going to try to answer, why did the colonists resist the Stamp Act? And complete that answer within your significant statement. You have 5 minutes to do this with document 1. Be prepared to share your significant statement on a collab board. I will be popping in and out of your classwork documents to see your annotations. 5 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and get started. Two more minutes. 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to open up the collab board. Okay, time is up. I am opening the collab board. Please take the next minute to share out your significant statement for why did the colonists resist the Stamp Act? And I will refresh before I give you guys a lecture for not participating. So we won't do that again. Once you copy and paste your response, please browse and look at everybody else's and heart the responses that you agree with. Great. I'm seeing a few responses. Let's see some more. Great, I'm seeing some more responses. Great. Shakeem, can you please unmute and share your response?
He said British laws gave heavy taxes on colonists, but the author argued they should evade them because their consent was not considered.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So what I am seeing in terms of looking at the collab board, we all agree that there's something about taxes, like they do not want to be taxed, especially when they are not being represented. So now, using the skill of corroboration, we are going to transition to document 2, and we are going to see, according to document 2, why did the colonists resist the Stamp Act? So same thing, you are going to have 5 minutes to submit, to do your annotations, and then we are going to come back together on the collab board. 5 minutes, go ahead and get started. 2.5 more minutes. Two more minutes on document 2. "45 more seconds, and then be prepared to share out your significant statement on a collab board. And go ahead and finish up your significant statement and start copying and pasting it into the Nearpod. The collab board is now open. Great, thank you, Jalasia. I have yours. Again, I'm checking to see if you are responding in the Nearpod. I have 3 responses. Thank you, guys. Okay, I only have 3 responses. Let's try to get some more in here. Even if it's not a perfect significant statement or a sentence, let's go ahead and see our general thoughts. Thank you. Getting a couple more. Great. Leah, can you please unmute and share what you wrote?
I said, since the Stamp Act caused colonists to have a taxation without representation, it led to a bigger conflict with not supporting it at all.
Great. And Arabia, can you build on that with your response?
I said that they were more mad at the fact that they just felt bombarded with the taxes, one, without consultation, and two, when they were taxing, it was mainly to the rich and the poor was barely affected.
Great. So what would you say is the biggest difference between document 1 and document 2? I'll take a hand. What is the biggest difference between document 1 and document 2? Kamaya.
In document 1, it goes straight to like why they don't agree with the tax at all. But in document 2, it also shows a counter argument and like what the initial thoughts might have been about not actually having to pay the tax because they don't pay for newspaper or any type of paper goods, but in fact how it was implemented because they just did it without their consent in total.
Beautiful. Yes. So we are now going to finish our annotations with document 3. Same thing, 5 minutes to read and annotate the document, and then a collab board. 5 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and get started. Three more minutes. Two more minutes. One more minute to finish your annotations. Great. We are going to pause there, and we are unfortunately out of time, so we cannot do a collab board for document 3. If you have any questions about document 3, feel free to reach out in the chat during your exit ticket. Your exit ticket, you are going to be writing a thesis, which is basically just an answer to the question, why did the colonists resist the Stamp Act in 1765? Make sure your thesis includes a line of reasoning, which means it sets up what your essay would be like. And then you are going to explain how each document corroborates or supports your thesis. You are going to have until the end of class to complete this. Once I announce your name and see that you have fully completed your exit ticket with the line of reasoning in your thesis, you will be free to go. Go ahead and transition to your exit ticket and chat me if you have any questions. Should take about another 5 minutes, 5 more minutes on this. Alexis, you may go. Jalasia, you may go. Mahmoud, you may go. Remember, as I'm releasing you, homework is due tonight at 8 o'clock. Make sure you use your afternoon to complete it or your break. Arabia, you may go. Caleb, you may go. Shakim, you may go. Remember, homework is due today at 8. Ciara, you may go. Okay, it should take another 2 minutes to finish up. Kayla, you may go. Giovanni, you may go. Okay, let's go ahead and start working on submitting those responses. I want to make sure you guys don't lose your break. Okay, we can go ahead and start submitting our exit tickets. I don't want you guys to lose your break. Leah, you may go. Eddie, you may go. Okay, let's go ahead and work on submitting our exit tickets so that way you do not lose your whole break.